Hey, thanks. Lesson number 5. We are here today. I hope you can understand, or I just hope you can find some value in this, man. If you don't like it, if you don't like my voice, cool, move on. If you don't think you have a purpose, move on. If you feel like you fulfilled your purpose, move on, man. If you do, if you are looking for help and you're too afraid to ask and you're just searching around the internet and you find me, I don't know. That's kind of like a cool thing, I think. This is number 5. Pillar number 5. I have 8 pillars. This is number 5. This is something that helps me. I read my pillars. I have it on a little board above my bed. I read it every morning. I understand that I still have the gift of desperation. I'm an alcoholic, a drug addict, suicide survivor, all kinds of alphabets when it comes to my mental health issues. And I hope my sobriety and my path of sobriety and the lessons I've learned in these pillars can help you. Hopefully, help you out. If not, that's cool, man. I hope you get help somewhere else. You can reach out. I'd be happy to go to a meeting with you. But number 5 is expect nothing in return. This pillar, this pillar, to expect nothing in return, it's the newest one on the pillars. But it helps me understand, and it ties directly into take nothing personally, make no assumptions, and no excuses, just results. It ties in because when I expect nothing in return, I'm not making any assumptions. I'm not assuming that my act of kindness deserves a reward. It means I don't take anything, the lack of whatever I think that assumption is, right? So if I do something kind, nothing happens, I'm taking it personally now. I had an assumption that I would get a reward or acknowledgement. Nothing happens. Now I'm taking it personally. What are the results? It doesn't matter, right? Who's at fault here? No excuses. I cannot expect anything in return when I do something kind for others. And this may sound like it's a given. Yeah, of course. Why would you? I give a gift. I'm not going to expect to give back. In my sick mind, I would do things like love bomb a person. If you don't know what love bombing is, you can Google it, and it was a way for me to feel good about myself and also destroy the relationship I have with this person because there's absolutely no way they can keep up with what I'm doing. Therefore, I'm taking things personal. Therefore, I'm making assumptions. Now, resentment is crawling into the situation because they're not meeting my expectations, which are completely unrealistic. But in my head at the time, I think they're realistic because why wouldn't you do these grand gestures of gifts and stuff I couldn't afford, by the way? All of these things when this person is just like, oh my God, affection, affection. Oh, this is awesome. This person, like, wow, this it goes right past like any type of, I don't know if this person's for me to. It's just an overwhelming feeling of kindness and all of that underlying the fact that I am going to hold this against you very shortly, and it's going to be bad because then it's going to get into gaslighting, and it's going to get into toxic behaviors with I don't want to say the N word because everybody uses it and they don't really know how that applies in relationships, but you know what I'm saying. All of that comes from expecting something in return. So this is something on my progress ladder as I go each rung that I understood at the beginning of like this extensive therapy sessions I used to have, but I really didn't know how it applied until I started to unravel the fact that I had a friend tell me like, Johnny, what the things you do is not normal. And I said, what are you talking about? It's not normal. I feel a certain way about someone. I want to express that feeling in the most intense, overreactive way I possibly can. And now that I say it like that, it doesn't sound very nice. Uh, Only to be able to hold resentments against them for not being just like me. Right? There's nothing wrong with people who just want to take it slow and understand that communication and being consistent is more important than these grand gestures of overwhelming kindness that are completely ridiculous. I mean, they're not completely ridiculous. Okay. I mean, I feel like being grand and doing something nice is, you should be able to do that kind of stuff, but definitely don't hold it against them. And I'm guilty. I'm super guilty of that. I don't think I've ever had a healthy relationship just because I didn't really understand that I cannot expect anything in return. I have to do these things and understand that if someone says they love me, then I have to trust that, and I don't. I don't trust. I have massive trust issues. All through all this stuff, I still have a monstrosity. That guy right there, he's best describes my trust for people. Terrifying, looking weird dude. I took that from the halfway house, by the way. Father John, if you see this, I'm sorry. It's been on me this whole time. That's my addiction. That's what it looks like. And so, not expecting anything in return had been super important for me to understand in building relationships now. Mostly because no one signed up to treat me the way I want to treat them, both good or bad. And I don't want to make an assumption that there are bad people out there who want it to be bad to me. I just think they're just as messed up as I am, and they're not at that point in life where they understand it yet, and they may not be able to get there, or they may be, I don't know. But forgiving myself for these behaviors is super important, and forgiving the other people who are out there who hurt me is super important because I don't feel like anyone really knows what's going on. To be where I am today, as far as my growth and understanding my addiction, understanding the disease of my toxicity, is a place that not very many people get to go. I can go into the dark side of my depression, my PTSD, the trauma that I've been a part of, and feel safe. It's kind of a weird way to understand it. But before, when it was dark, it was scary, and the things that I thought were making noise in the darkness, I didn't know they were me. And now I do. And now that I've surrendered, these things are my friends. They're a part of me. They're a big part of who I am and why I'm okay with who I am today. When you make friends with, and I used to call them demons and the monsters, and I see people who are in active addiction and they talk about demons and monsters. And God, I connect with that so much. And if they could only understand that those demons and monsters are a part of them as much as the light and the hope that they carry, then they have power for themselves. they have a chance, right? And that's really all we can ask for is a chance. So, um, number 5, expect nothing in return because it's super toxic and it comes off as a given. But at the end of the day, some people out there will say they expect nothing in return, only to have the expectation of themselves destroy the relationship with that person. As much as I love the people that I said I loved and did the things that I did for them, deep down, thanks to Dr. Nicole, she told me, she helped me kind of come to this understanding with one of my demons. I never wanted to be in a relationship with them. Truly. I was fulfilling a part of my life that wanted to be loved. And for me, now I understand that love is like leaves on a tree. They're all very similar. They look very, very closely alike, but they're all very different and they serve a different purpose. And some of those leaves fall off and die. Some of those leaves provide shade. Some of those leaves always stay in the sunlight. Some of those leaves never see sunlight. And love has manifested in my life like that. That I cannot fulfill the absence of what I felt growing up with the presence of somebody I just met. I have to be okay with loving myself. And that's hard sometimes. It's hard for me to do this because I swear to gosh, I don't even watch these things when I'm done. But I'm gonna make myself do it this time. So expect nothing in return. Truly, truly expect nothing in return. Be happy with the gesture you provide for the people around you and go on with your day. Just know that out there something may happen good for you. And it's not because you did something for that person or another person. It's because someone just wanted to be kind to you that day. So with that, we're going to move on to the next pillar. I hope you come back for that one.